Welcome back to another episode of the Cabbage Coins podcast. I've been super happy with the success of this podcast so far and the YouTube channel. If you're watching, if this is your first time, please hit the like button, share it, subscribe to it, comment on it, all those types of things. It really helps out the channel. If you've been on the channel before and welcome back, appreciate you doing this podcast again. I hope every time to kind of have a new topic or a new guest speaker. This time we actually have somebody that we've spoken to before and has been requested already to come back. So Gil Comito, you are our first return guest, and hopefully you're going to be kind of like a staple around here as we see you again and again on the podcast and on YouTube. Kind of raise your your level of fame within the industry. I mean, you're already pretty famous. You've been doing collecting and dealing since you're like 10 years old, right? Something like that. Yeah. So you're kind of a household name when it comes to the coin industry and to shows and things. But anyways, so today what we're going to talk about is submissions to CAC. So CAC stands for Certified Acceptance Corporation. And this is a service that is offered to collectors or to dealers, whomever. And you can submit a coin to their service and you can get CAC's opinion about the quality of the coin for the stated grade. And I know Gil definitely has a lot of experience in this area. He has amassed a huge collection of CAC certified stickered coins and slabs, and also a very large collection of gold CAC stickers as well, which we'll talk about that in a second. Now, because like a lot of people are going to say, okay, we just did a show about grading. The previous episode of this was about grading. Coins have numerical grades according to the Sheldon scale of numerical grading for numismatics. Now, a coin can fall into an MS63 category, a mint state 63, or a mint state 64, or a mint state 65. And, that already makes the coin kind of in a way kind of makes it a bit precise in terms of what the numerical grade of the coin would be. So this is an additional service that further looks at the coin and assesses it even further. Did I get that right?
Yes. So basically what they do, or what people do, is they look into within the grade, and they break it down into threes, A, B, and C. So you have a level, B level, and a C level. Your A level coin is your top of the grade. That's the one that's there's just something slightly wrong with it that it won't make the next grade. So it's right there on the cusp. Your Bs are your solid coins. Those are the coins that are solid for the grade. And your Cs are the marginal ones that kind of slipped into it. Like, is it really a 5 or is it really a 4? It's okay, yeah, we'll let it go as a 5, and it's considered like an ugly 5. So obviously the trick with CAC, the A coins obviously will get stickers. Basically you're just reiterating that this is a top quality coin. Okay, it's got the sticker.
Reinforcing it.
It's the B and the C level coins that's where the dealers are making their money on getting those coins in stickers. And CAC are excellent at picking out the C's and the B's, as in those don't get stickered.
One of the ways I've also described it to folks is if let's say you go to a coin show and you find 5 different 1881s Morgan dollars in the grade of MS65. Now, not going to be difficult to find it all. This is about a $200 coin roughly. But if you get 5 examples of this 1881 San Francisco Morgan dollar and you line them up, all 5, you will if you start looking at the coins, even though they all say MS65 on them, you start looking at the coins, you'll start to see various differences in terms of the level of the imperfections on the coin. And take enough time with those 5, you should be able to line them up from the worst to the best, because coins are not identical. They're not exactly identical to one another. Even within the stated grade, there's going to be kind of on the low end of the MS65, and then there's going to be on the upper end of the MS65. And if coins were to get any better than the upper end, it would probably classify or qualify for an MS66, probably. So even within that grade, there's this kind of like variance of quality, even within the stated grade. And CAC's philosophy, I understand, is to kind of identify those that are on the upper third, I guess, of that little example as being premium for the stated grade. Now, they also have a different category for those that are premium at the next grade up. Now, tell us a little bit about what that is and how many of these have you acquired or
So
conquered in your lifetime?
so the gold CAC,
Yeah.
what the gold CAC signifies is in CAC's opinion that coin in the very next grade. So let's say you have your 81S Morgan Dollar MS63 with a gold CAC. CAC is clearly saying that if this coin were to be graded in a grade of 64 at one of the grading services, that they would give it a green sticker.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying with the gold.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's going to upgrade, but it should in their opinion. Now,
Sure.
as we know, playing in this market, CAC's been around for almost 20 years now. The gold CACs are the creme de la creme. They're the coins.
Yeah.
I mean, right now the market's they're 2, 3, 4 points above their intended grade, and
Yeah.
it's a weird market right now. It's extremely
Sure.
crazy. I've been trying to buy a few of them recently, and I'm blown away at what these things are getting.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that we've realized that they're not stickering that many anymore, the green or the gold, and there's a reason
Okay.
for that. It's
Yeah, we can get into that a little bit
Yeah.
here in a second. The gold CAC stuff is going to be basically like Gil is stating. So there's green stickers, which we're going to show here in just a second. We're going to bring up some, but you have green stickers that are solid for the stated grade, and then you have those that will be solid at the next grade, even up, and they receive a gold sticker. And in the market, these have kind of blown up, especially in the last like 3, 4, 5 years or so, right around COVID 2020, when the market really for numismatics really kind of took off again after the pandemic. These coins, these gold CAC stickers, ended up becoming sought out and traded, and the demand for those kind of really went kind of haywire. So anyways, without any further ado, I want to bring up some examples that we've kind of collected together that will really kind of hit home the idea behind stickering and our experiences with this. So okay, so I'm gonna get started and very humbly share one of my recent major successes. This is a 1914 half dollar Barber half dollar. The 1914 Barber half is one of the lowest mintage Barber halves of the entire series. They are very, very, very difficult to find in the MS65 grade. And if you were to look at populations and so forth, there's, I think, only one or so forth with a CE sticker. It might be this one, and maybe the population reports haven't been updated. I just got this coin back. This was awarded the CAC sticker, and so now what this does for the value of this coin is kind of a bit unknown, because the 1914 half Barber half, just an MS65 alone, is really difficult to come by and really tough to find within the marketplace. The only example I found was a DL Hansen coin that was for sale that was like $1,000 more than the PCGS price guide was what the asking price was for that coin without a CAC sticker. And so now with this sticker, I really don't know what it could be in terms of the value on this. My plan actually with this coin is to get this crossed over into a PCGS holder and then get it restickered. And the reason for that is because all of the collectors, the registry set guys, are probably gonna want this coin in a PCGS holder. So yeah, but folks, that's basically what we're talking about when we say the CAC green sticker. This is a green sticker that they put on, and what they're stating here is just that this coin is a premium example for the stated grade of MS65. It ends up increasing the value considerably, in the marketplace. Now, this is one of your coins, right? And this is actually a gold CAC. So, when did you get this gold CAC? And tell us a little bit about this coin. Do you think this is probably a 67, or this could be higher?
So that coin I purchased at Long Beach about 8 years ago, and
Okay.
it was with a batch of walkers of similar dates. They were from the 30s and 40s. It was a big batch I bought from a dealer and sent them in. I got 6 gold CACs out of the batch, and this is one of them. This was the best one.
Yeah.
I've been told that this coin would grade a 68 today.
I think so.
Will it? Will it not? I mean,
well, what
it most likely would. It's lustrous as all get out. So
yeah. 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 I mean, that's so a couple things really jump out at me. One is the luster of this coin, absolute booming luster. There's no doubt that the coin and the surfaces are pretty original. I don't see any signs here of dipping on the coin, which is a chemical kind of process that it brightens the coin up, but reduces the shine and appearance and the luster on the surface of the coin. The other thing I noticed is that the sun here is completely free of any kind of flaws. The coin looks very well struck. I don't see any raw, kind of exposed planchet or unstruck planchet kind of in these high points, which is normally where you would see that. You see a lot of Miss Liberty's hand, which is usually what a poorly struck
The
coin.
hand is full.
Yeah, in this case, the hand is very full. I don't see, I mean, I could totally see this thing in an MS68, but I don't think this is not super crazy expensive in a 68 holder, though, is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. So
Yeah, Walkers in 68 that's where the
for
spread
all
is
the years, for all the years, all the series.
Yeah, 68 would be worth quite a bit.
So are you going to do it? Are you going to crack it out?
No, I probably will never crack this coin. I've been offered some pretty good money for it years ago, but it's actually
Okay.
been hidden away for the last 3 or 4 years. I really haven't been taking these out to shows, but one person in particular was very fond of this coin and was trying to twist my arm to get it from me, but I resisted selling it.
I see. Okay. All right. Take a look at this next one. So this is another gold CAC sticker, so you guys can see. There's also this little like whatever you want to call this thing, this little card that's kind of behind that they tape onto the reverse of the gold CAC, basically just another pat on the back to say that you've achieved, the gold sticker. I think I remember this coin. Is this the one that I'm thinking of?
That was when I was in Scottsdale.
Yeah. I do remember this coin.
Yeah. So that coin's one of those, it's a lock 65 today, but the price it's all blended. I mean, with gold being as crazy as it is, I mean, it's not worth cracking out and regrading, but
it's a little bit of a luster break right there, a little bit on the knee, but on the chest is just totally fine. Absolutely, this is certainly an MS65 coin overall, and absolute luster bomb. I just remember this coin specifically, and I think that I remember a couple of guys, we all wanted this coin, we all wanted to buy it from you or whatever, and that was one of the ones that.
Yeah, that's the first gold sticker I got on a gold coin. One thing about CAC is they are very, very picky when it comes to their gold coins. Even with the green stickers. I mean, my own personal success rate for getting stickers on gold coins is about 25%. It's pretty bad compared to what I get on the other coins. Gold, they're very, very tough. So stickered gold it's worth it. Now the market today is saying otherwise, but normally it's really sought after.
Yeah, no, I like it quite a bit. And gold on gold, I mean, there are some collectors who just focus on that, gold CAC stickers on gold coins. It's an interesting pursuit. It's going to be really difficult to find these things, and when you do find them, there's a good chance you're going to end up having to pay really through the nose for that coin, in part because of the plastic that it sits in and the grade that's on the coin. But still, fantastic coin. 1928, $20 is a very common coin. But in this case, the achievement here really is about the gold sticker on the gold coin. So you've hunted through thousands of coins at various coin shows, and you found an example that CAC put this gold sticker on to, and it's so rare that occurs that it's kind of an achievement, and people pay a lot of money for them. So this is a great one. This is a 1901 Indian cent in MS64 brown, and this one did achieve the CAC. What about this coin jumps out at you that is clearly a CAC quality for MS64?
The coin is original. It's 100% original. It's not been tampered with. The chocolate brown color that's completely natural. It's not. There's nothing about this that is unnatural. It hasn't been messed with. It probably sat in an album for who knows how long, and it just
Yeah.
kind of turned like naturally, and it's very pleasing. There's no distracting marks on this coin.
Yeah. The
Could the
cheek here
coin
is
go
kind of
65? But
yeah.
it's not worth it, but it's just a cool coin. Now, a lot of people would say, is it worth getting the sticker? On certain coins, it can be. Like this particular coin, it
Yeah.
is worth it because there aren't that many common date Indian head cents with green stickers in this grade range in a brown. It's not something that people would really think, why would I send it? It costs you quite a bit of money to send in for a sticker.
Yeah.
And most dealers and people would say, well, why would I do it? Well,
Yeah.
the people that do want this, they're going to pay up for it. So
Yeah. Yeah. It certainly helps with liquidity and the marketability of the coin from a dealing perspective, 100%. And as a collector, everybody who owns coins should always be thinking about exit strategies eventually for the collection, unless they're going to just pass it on to somebody. In which case, a strategy or a plan with that is important too. Totally another episode. But in the case of even a common coin, which this is a great date, 1901. It's turn of the century. It is a there's a lot of other 1901 coins that are really nice and or a little bit more important. I'm thinking of like the 1901 Morgan dollar, for example, is a real rarity. The 1901 dollar, right?
Yeah, the 01P Morgan dollar,
the
mint
01P,
8.
yeah.
You got the 01S quarter, that's a monster.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's some 01s. There's a lot of coins in that early 1900s that are quite rare.
Yeah. Yeah. So, somebody might want this for typeset. And in the case of wanting one example for the type, and you have a fairly, a fairly common coin, not a super really valuable coin, having one with the CAC sticker might really stand out, maybe something that they really, they like. And frankly, all it is just a signifier to say, this is a high quality coin for the stated grade. The originality of it, like you stated, is really great. And when we talk about originality, folks, we're talking about basically you have the coins that come off the press and at the mint, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, the level of surface preservation that still exists today, that where the coin hasn't been like messed with at all, where the coin hasn't been chemically adjusted in some way, dipped out to try to improve the shine or the appearance of the coin. We call this originality. Just think of, anything like any old piece of reclaimed wood or something you're going to put into your home or something, whatever is, whatever it looked like from when it was where you found it, that would be considered to be more original. If you paint the thing over and you cover it up, you make it look different in some way, you've taken away the originality of that. It's the same thing, same concept with coins. And in today's market, originality really brings premiums from collectors. People want stuff that's been preserved for all this time. Okay, so I know this coin hits pretty home for you. Hits pretty close to home. So, should I flip to the other slide to show what this is? I guess I will do that. So what we have here is, you guys see the little D mint mark right down there. Denver. So we have a 1916 D. So tell us a story on this guy and you're with CAC.
That is my infamous 16D dime that I acquired. I acquired it raw, submitted the coin to PCGS at my very first members only show. It got a 63 split bands grade, which I was ecstatic about. Originally, when I had this coin, I thought it was going to be anywhere between 58 and 62. I was still kind of green to the grading game at the time. So I really wasn't 100% sure where it was going to lie. And I got it back, 63 split bands, immediately sent it to CAC, and they failed it. And it's actually failed twice.
Yeah.
The second time, I finally realized exactly what it is. It has, on the obverse, there is a gouge right below, right there. There's a little gouge there, and if you look right where her wing is in the headdress, there's a little staple scratch that goes right down the middle.
Is this right here?
See it. Yeah, it goes all the way down goes right in through the hair, right there.
Yeah.
You just see it right there.
Yep.
Little staple scratch there. CAC hates scratches. They hate scratches, plain and simple. If you see any kind of little hairline scratch like that, it's not happening. So now the lucky thing for PCGS they probably overlooked it because it is toned over. So those marks happened eons ago. They're not recent. So that's probably why they kind of overlooked it and said, okay, it's market acceptable. But to
Sure.
CAC, it's not a top quality for a 63, plain and simple.
Yeah, I keep getting my eye appeal, and my eyes keep attracting or kind of being drawn to the mark right
Yep.
here on the cheek. I mean, it just looks like a scar on her face.
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult to get past that one. I could totally see the issue there, and also, I don't know, and this is a true view from the PCGS website,
Yeah.
so this is about a high def image as it is, but these full bands here, these full split bands,
They're full on the coin. They
are
are solid full. That picture's not very good, but they're
okay.
very full. 16Ds typically come that way. I've only seen a handful that actually have the bands are combined. So most of them, even in the circulated AUs, you can still see a split band. So.
Yeah. Do you have any idea off the top of your head what the sticker would do for a value perspective? How much of a premium you'd get if this coin did get have a CAC sticker?
It would probably bump it 10-15%. I would imagine.
Yeah, which is
it's definitely it was definitely worth it. I mean, I sent it twice, so
yeah. This is roughly $20,000 coin, right? Roughly.
I think they're right 24, 25 right now. And
really? Okay.
About 30 if it had a sticker.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the other thing we'll kind of come back to here in a couple times, I think, in this conversation, and that is that from a collecting perspective, should a person be happy with this? And it's obviously a very subjective question. Only a person who's collecting can answer that. But me personally, I'd be happy with owning this coin, and I think I've tried to buy it from you multiple times now.
Yeah,
but
that's because you know the origin of it. Like, if you were just seeing that coin in a showcase, I can see a lot of people passing on it because it is dark.
Because it's dark.
It is subdued.
I think it's so. I think it has that originality, though. I think
exactly.
It is dark, but it's not in a negative way. And I think the color on the reverse is actually quite nice. It doesn't have the CAC sticker, probably because of the mark on the face, but I just am not that hung up on it. And to pay $5,000 less and to acquire an example of a 16D in 63 full bands, to me, would be a great opportunity. So.
Yeah, when you're playing in this level, that $25,000-$30,000 level, it's basically the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? Like, if you like the coin, you buy it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? Because
people want the best quality coin for the money. Yeah. Oh, that's true.
That's the one thing about the 16Ds. It's not like, it is very rare. Don't get me wrong. It's very rare, but I think there's like 250 coins in 63 split bands. So they're available.
They are.
Is mine the best one? By no means.
Yeah.
By no means is it the best.
Yeah,
one.
16Ds are one of those coins that I am actually quite surprised at how expensive a lot of those are. But a lot of people collect Mercury dimes, and it is the most rare Mercury dime. And it is very, it's very, very difficult to find them, especially in higher grades. But they're very readily available in AG3 in the lowest grades, and they're very easy to find. It's not a rare coin in my opinion at the lowest grades. So let's keep moving. All right, so this is one of my failures. This was an 1891 Carson City $10. I thought this coin was a lock because it's really hard to see just in a photograph, but this coin had very proof-like surfaces. When we say proof-like, we're talking about, okay, maybe it takes just a brief moment to explain what that means. This is a business strike, okay? So this coin was made for circulation, for commerce to be used, but the U.S. Mint also made proof coins, which were made specifically for collectors. And those coins had dies that were highly polished, and the planchets were polished, and it produced like a reflective, basically, surface on the coin, especially within the fields. And there'd be contrast with the devices here, Miss Liberty's face. So you would have like a frosty Miss Liberty, and you would have reflective, very liquidy, reflective kind of fields, and that was called a proof. And then if it's really, the contrast is really there, it's called a cameo, and then even more, it's called a deep cameo. But anyways, when business strike coins like this one have an appearance like a proof coin that's called proof-like. And I thought that this coin, even though PCGS did not call this a MS63 with a proof-like designation, I thought that this coin, because of the luster and the shine and how this thing worked, I thought this was a lock for a sticker, but it failed. And it actually also failed a crossover to CAC grading as well. And I asked multiple opinions about what that is, and it really came down to the chatter for everybody that looked at it. The cheek is fine, which is a major focal point for gold coins, but especially what the people that looked at it, they really zoomed in on this part right behind the head.
Yeah, right behind the bun there.
Yeah, this is just too chattery. Chatter is what we colloquially call dings and hits, bag mark coins that are banging up against this thing. It's just too much. And unfortunately, for a premium MS63, you would just need to have less of that. So yeah, this is an expensive coin too. And I sat on it for, I don't know, 6, 7 months, 8 months. And finally, I actually took a loss when I sold it. I lost $500 in this coin. So, it's just one of those things that I wanted to recycle capital and get my money working for me in another way. So it is what it is. But anyways, so this is another one, I believe, of your failures,
yes.
Gil. So
yep, this is a failure. Why it failed, I'm clueless. It's got to be the fingerprint on the cheek. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the coin has absolutely amazing luster for a 63.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just one of those coins color. I thought.
From a color perspective, I mean, this is still a very expensive coin because of the color, right? Plus, it's got two sides of color. You got some color here on the reverse as well.
This coin was actually, when I acquired it, was in one of those manila 2x2 paper flips.
Okay.
That's how it got the color. One of my good clients had this coin and actually gave it to me as for helping him out building a Morgan dollar set. So this was my gift.
Okay.
So that's why I kept it. Regardless whether it was going to grade or sticker or anything, it's one of those coins I'm going to keep forever. But yeah, I was blown away when it didn't sticker because I was blown away that it got a 63. I thought it was a lot better than that. And I thought, well, it's got a good shot for a gold, and it didn't even green. So
yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
The thumbprint is just right there,
really
right on
bad.
The face. And
I mean, you look at the coin in hand, and it's like, man, you could probably identify whoever freaking put that thumbprint on there. You know?
Yeah, and we talked about that's a good point. We could find the person. We talked about toners in previous episodes, and I know a lot of some toners have a look called textile toning, which is having to do with like how the coin toned against the side of the bag, the treasury sack. This is not that. This is just clearly somebody's fingerprint oils that ended up affecting and turned on the surface. And yeah, it's still a very pretty coin. I mean, still overall, I would love to own this coin, but yeah, not good enough, I think, for CAC from an eye peel perspective. So, which is a good point. CAC apparently doesn't look just about technical grading, just about the number of dings and imperfections on surfaces. Also, eye appeal has to be there to receive a green sticker. So I want to get to a few more failures here, and this is interesting because I've shown some of these photos and other videos, past videos before I did the podcast on my channel, where I talked about CAC submissions and results of CAC submissions. If you request it, and I don't know if I want to publicize this, I don't know if they do this for everybody. Maybe they absolutely do. You always can ask. I think I think you should ask. Yeah. You can ask for comments to be given back to you about why a coin did not sticker. So something really simple like this 1807 $50. I love the look of this coin when I bought it. I just liked how I thought the eye appeal was fairly decent. But even here, if I zoom in, because the quality of the photo is such that I can do that, I can probably see there are the striations of cleaning that have occurred. This is the eye polish up here, but there's striations that have occurred that made this coin to be cleaned, and this is going to fail CAC sticker. They're pretty hard on clean coins. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 100%.
It's kind of a, no brainer. I love $10 Indian coins, gold coins. This is one of my favorite ones because this is. I asked him why you didn't sticker it, and he said this is MS63.
Yep. Classic CAC.
Yeah, and I still sold it as a 64. I didn't pretend that it was an actual, I didn't try to like knock myself down here to a 63, but yeah, I mean, he basically said that this coin had the chatter and the look of a 63, and not only was it low quality for the stated grade of 64, but he's actually saying this is,
Yep.
So big L took on this one. Here's another one that some stuff that should jump out at people about coins. Don't bother submitting. I mean, if a coin has a noticeable scratch, a staple scratch, especially in a very recognizable area. So I thought in this coin, if you look close, you can obviously see where it is.
Yeah.
Zoom in. Yeah. I thought this scratch was a bit hidden. And when I bought this coin, I was perfectly happy with the coin overall. I thought it had a great overall look. People who saw this coin even later, actually sold this to another very large dealer in the country who bought this coin from me. He was happy to have it. I thought the coin had an amazing look to it overall, but the obvious scratch here was enough for them to fail this thing. I did not get a sticker on that one. And then we got something like this, which I thought had excellent eye appeal overall. I loved the look of this coin. I thought this coin had nice color to it, but he was also able to identify that there was a cleaned long ago was the note that I got from John.
It's a clean retoned.
Yeah. And this is a common not pattern, but something you find when looking at coins is a lot of coins have gone through the course of history and have been cleaned by various dealers and collectors because it was normal to clean up or to brighten the surface of your coins. And so because of that, then those coins in this case maybe got retoned over and toned back, and it actually doesn't look bad today. It doesn't look horrible, but for CAC's perspective, they want originality, especially for an MS63. I would say also this coin clearly doesn't have luster. It doesn't have the kind of luster you would expect out of a 63, and that probably comes from came from the cleaning. So another failure. Now let's talk about a couple of failures that I was super shocked with. So this coin, I did not submit this coin. This coin, I also, when I got it, I saw the prices for what would happen with a 1915 $10 with a sticker and MS65 were just enormous. And considering the fact that I got this from another dealer, I said to myself, there's a very good chance this has been submitted already, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, this coin had incredible luster. It has a great overall eye appeal. I really liked, now with, zooming in, I can kind of see some issues. I see kind of a loss of luster here in a bit of the feathers, which on gold coins, I know for a fact, CAC wants full luster, especially in an MS65 grade. In the gem grade, needs to have luster on the coin. Can I have luster be subdued by kind of rub that you can see here through the feathers? There's a little bit chattery. There's a bit of almost like a wipe or something through here. So now as I'm looking at it super close like that, I can see why it failed. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think of this coin?
Well, without seeing the reverse, yeah, I mean, believe it or not, I thought that looks like a standard 5. I mean, it's not a top quality 5, but it's a standard 5. So I mean, I wouldn't shy away from it. I'm definitely sending it. I'm definitely sending it because I know that coin's got a huge bump with a sticker. So you gotta try it. So
yeah, this is a good coin. I mean, so I actually don't want to steal the thunder of the next one here because here's a coin, 1909 S, $10. It was part of this really famous collection called the Harbor View collection. MS64. I did submit this coin. I thought I love the look of this coin. I love the color of the gold. I thought this was definitely going to sticker, and he failed this one. And I can't remember. I think he wrote a sticker, something about like a surface residue or some kind of a surface.
Yeah, it looks like you got something going on at
Where?
like from the center going out to like 9 o'clock. You see where it's really dark in that little dark area? Like
Oh, you mean
something's right
this?
in there. Yep, something's going on right in there. Maybe there's some kind of I won't say chemical, but somebody might have done something to it, maybe thumbed it,
Yeah.
putty, something of that nature.
Well, I've been told that some of these $10 Indians have like a film that was put on the surface that was a bit translucent that was meant to, I guess, hide some imperfections. That this was something that used to be done on these coins, and today some of this film still kind of exists on
Yeah, it
some of
looks like
these.
there's something on it right across there from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, because you can tell the drastic difference in the toning
Yeah,
from at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Like it almost looks like it was in paper, but because that color isn't circular all the way around, there's
yeah,
something a little off about it. You can't put
yeah,
your
yeah.
finger on it, but you know that there's something slightly off, and that's probably why they shied away from it. Because that's another one of those coins that has a big bump if you get the sticker.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
No.
1909S. Any estimate, $10. When you get into these, 12S, 13S, 15S, 14S, with these things are very difficult to get with CAC stickers. And you get into MS64 and 65, these become really expensive coins. So, yeah, it's a huge bump on this one. So, I want to get your opinion on the grading service. So,
Okay.
CAC a couple years ago launched this grading service. They are kind of bringing back a very strict standard, I guess you could say. The coins that go into these holders, I believe, are equivalent to a coin graded by another company like PCGS or NGC, but also with the sticker on them. What do you think? This is a coin that I owned. I actually surprisingly owned this for quite a long time. I did sell it, but what do you think? What's your thoughts on the grading service?
So the grading service right now, the market's still out.
Or you mean the jury's still out on it? You
Yeah,
mean? Okay.
the market really hasn't figured out the price point on their coins, hasn't quite figured out what collectors are really looking, where they going, because they have started a registry, which we're realizing right now that that's kind of where collectors are focusing on. They're focusing on the registries.
Okay.
We're not doing too many of the Dansco books, the Whitman books. That kind of stuff that's past tense. Now everybody wants their coins certified. They're putting their coins together in a set, and they're doing the registries. Now the CAC graded coins, they don't quite fit anywhere, and that's kind of seems to be where the problem is. Where does it fit? Like you have NGC registry, you have a PCGS registry, and then
Yeah.
PCGS has got a sticker registry as well. So that's the other problem is, why would I get a coin in a CAC graded when I just get it at PCGS and get a sticker on it and it's the same thing?
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people are kind of hesitant about it, because it's a change, and people aren't keen to changing right now.
Sure.
I
It's
guess where
slow.
we kind of got used to that sticker thing. It took us about 10 years to get used to the sticker thing. We got used to it, and now we're changing again, and people are like, hey,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah. Well, if we know for a fact that, like, for example, CAC is increasing the prices on the stickering services. We
Yep.
know that. So it's becoming a lot more challenging and costly to make submissions. I mean, even at the lowest tier, their economy tier, which is for coins up to $3,000, I think the last time I checked, it was like $25 to.
$25 and you don't get much return. They used to give you your money back if it didn't sticker, but now they're not
Yeah.
even doing that.
Yeah. There's a
So,
percentage that they give you back, but I think they've even made that smaller. So there's
yep.
less of an incentive here, folks, to be submitting for stickers. But now when I see coins like this next one in these holders, I think this is going to help them quite a bit because, this person submitted, I bought this coin off of pretty much from a person who walked up to her table at the fun show. I am in love with this coin. This coin I'm
A big
still
coin.
attached to. And what's that?
That's a pretty big coin.
Yeah, I'm pretty attached to this coin. The level of originality that I see, the beauty of the color on this 1889 Carson City, which is the key date, is the king of the Carson City Morgan dollars, and an AE53 CAC. But as more of these big coins transfer into or get crossed over or end up getting graded by the CAC service, because for whatever reason it is, as more collectors are getting more keen to it, I think you're going to have more people that are going to warm up to it. They're going to be totally fine with keeping this coin. I would never think of, for example, crossing this into a PC holder and going through all of that mess to get this out of this, go into a PC holder, try to get a sticker back on it. I like it as a 53 CAC. I don't know. What would you do? What would you do? Would you go for it?
I'd leave it alone. Personally, I'm leaving it alone. I agree with you. I think that when it comes to the big money coins like this, like an 89cc, the 93s, people are going to want their coins either with a sticker or with the CACG.
Yeah.
And once we start getting that registry where you can start crossing the different holders, you're going to see a lot more people going with their big money coins in this holder than anything else. That's where I see where it's going to be going. I don't see you're going to see too many cheap stuff in the CACG stuff, even though they're trying to push that. I just don't see that happening. I see the big money coins like this. That's what's going to be in those holders.
What do you think about the holders? Do you like them? Just the holder.
Okay, I will tell you, because I've cracked many coins in my life. This holder is ridiculous at trying to crack open. It took me about 20 minutes to open one at the fun show, and I was exhausted. And I've talked to a lot of other people that have actually. I talked to a guy that actually helps design these holders, and he says this holder by far is the absolute best holder for security reasons. Like, there is absolutely zero chance of opening that holder and being able to reuse the two pieces. It is impossible to do that. So the security of this coin and this holder is top notch.
Yeah, you brought up a really good point. I didn't even think about that, which is the design of these holders. A big part of them has to do with preventing any kind of tampering with the ability to crack apart and to break it into two, put another coin into it, seal it back up in some way, and present it as being real. In a very huge part of what the grading services provide is authentication, but then it also is, I don't want to say guaranteed. I mean, there are guarantees involved in terms of what they do, but it's security, for the coin, to protect it, but also to protect the collector and the investor, the dealer, people that are transacting with it, that is not being misused, reused, fakes put into it, etc. So what you're saying is that this particular holder, it's nearly impossible, virtually impossible to reuse this holder once you've opened it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing I do have a small story, well, not story, but like, remember those sample slabs? The ones that came out. I was one of the idiots who paid like $100 for those things.
I do remember that. It was the state quarter. Yeah, you bought one, and I'm like, dude, they got like 10,000 of those on the shelf.
Yeah,
getting ready to get rid of.
They were making towers of them at the A&A show. They they made a tower of it and they knocked the whole thing over, and I paid like $125 for it. It was so stupid. But anyways, so I carried that in my backpack. And I kind of threw it in, I think, kind of loose in my backpack. And I don't know why I did that, but it was kind of moving around my backpack, and I pulled it out, and the edge of the rail on the top had kind of chipped, and three different chips, chip, kind of along the rail. But that was interesting. It's the only time I've ever seen these holders be chipped, and it was from basically improper storage on my part. Let's just be completely honest. So let's keep going here and kind of wrap things up. We got a couple interesting, awesome coins to show people. So this is one of the failures, right? And you mentioned that you know exactly why this coin failed.
So this coin has an interesting story. So this coin started out in an NGC 65 split band holder.
Okay.
I purchased it in that holder. Actually, I think I submitted it for a client to NGC. The coin came back. I bought the coin from them, so I knew where it hadn't been to CAC. But I tried for the crossover first. PCGS upgraded it to a 5 plus, and then I thought, sure, with a 5 plus, it's a lock, and it didn't get a sticker, and it's because you can't really see it in that picture, but on the neck, there's a lot of like little tooling lines, and there's some hair lines from a little bit of a wipe, and you rotate the coin just the right way, and you see it, and it's, yeah, you can just see that one line. There's a line right there. That line right there, when you rotate it and that pops, that line will actually pop, and then I'm like, that's got to be it.
Yeah. Well, you also have some striking weakness here on the. This is what is this is a 60 what?
It's a 65 plus.
65
so that's why
plus.
It didn't get into a 6, because if you look around the rim, it is very weakly struck around the rim, almost like it was filled.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So the point there is about these plus grades, because as you mentioned in the grading video, plus grades are supposed to be kind of like the PCGS or the NGC version of, hey, this coin is almost a 66, but it's not quite. So we're going to put it like between the two grades. We're going to say it's MS65 plus, and they have a higher value, of course, in the separate price guide value. But typically, well, CAC historically has not looked at the plus grade. They kind of would look at this coin as being an MS65, and so you would think logically, if it's an MS65 plus, according to PCGS, that a CAC would put their sticker on it because it's a premium example of a 65, right? But in this case and in others, I recently had this happen with one of my coins. Not necessarily the case. There could still be a major issue, like I wouldn't call this a major issue, but on the focal area, which is the neck of Mercury, the neck of Liberty focal area, this is going to be a big problem. But man,
there's a little bit of tooling in that area too. So
tooling is when people literally, there's like a tool or something that was applied to the surface to remove something, a spot perhaps. But I was just gonna say, in terms of eye appeal, man, I think this coin is absolutely gorgeous. So
my original thought was he didn't like the color, because if you look in the blue band from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it's kind of splotchy, and I was thinking maybe that was the reason why they didn't like it. But once I looked at it, and you can see that couple hairlines on the neck, and when you rotate it just right, and that just pops out in your face, you're just like, oh, that's why. So
Okay. So the last three, we're talking about a little quick about reconsideration. So one of the things that CAC offers is that you can have a reconsideration for the sticker, just like at the grading services, you can have them reconsider the grade and consider it again for a higher grade, whatever. And the same thing is the case with CAC stickers. This is a coin that I acquired a few years ago from a fellow, a common friend, a mutual friend of ours. I toasted him on this coin pretty bad. Joke. He did submit this for reconsideration because this came back with a green sticker. This is a 1885. This is a proof 63. For a 63, you would expect this coin. I mean, it was just pretty much gorgeous, and it achieved the green CAC sticker. But he was pretty adamant, and I kind of agreed with him that this coin probably should have had maybe a gold CAC, been at the 64 level. Definitely, there's some cameo contrast here between the Liberty and the Field. So why not get the gold? But this did not achieve the gold on the reconsideration.
That's one of those coins that would almost guarantee to upgrade into a 4, maybe even a 5. But for whatever reason, maybe there's a little bit of PVC on it somewhere, or like maybe there's a little bit of a wipe somewhere or something that he didn't like. And that's why it only got the green and not the gold. Because although, it probably will upgrade, in his mind, it wouldn't get a sticker at the next level.
Sure.
That's what he's thinking.
That's a good point. Which is what's a requirement for the gold CAC, and also, I mean, I wouldn't even bother trying to upgrade this because it's super cool in the Rattler holder.
You don't mess with that. You leave that coin alone
for sure. And in case I haven't before described it and explained it on this podcast before, what we're referring to as a rattler is a colloquial term. It's kind of just a term that we use, a nickname that we use for this old PCGS holder from the very first generation or earliest generation of making these coins, making these holders and grading coins. They put them into these plastic slabs, and they're called rattler holders because some series, might be this one, but I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head if I remember, but some series would not sit completely kind of secure within that, and so you could kind of rattle it and kind of move it around, and it would create like a rattling sound, and the coin was actually able to kind of like move a little bit, and the coin was perfectly safe and fine and secure, and from a preservation perspective, but the coin there was just ever so slight kind of clearance within the slab, and those are called rattlers. So, anyways. But here's a reconsideration win that I had. This was probably one of the best reconsiderations I ever pursued. This is an 1857 Flying Eagle cent, AU55. I bought this with the green CAC sticker on it, and I looked at this and I said to myself, I just do not see any real surface.
Not a 58?
Yeah, why is this coin not an AU58? So. So I did submit this for the reconsideration, and I came back with the gold CAC, the Flying Eagle with the rattler, gold CAC, posted to Instagram. Everybody's going wild. Everybody's trying to buy it from me, blah, blah, blah. And, I knew this
rare
thing was
bird
good.
right there.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Literally
here.
a rare bird.
Yeah. So, and I think I ended up selling this kind of in the middle of that real wild time, that the heyday of gold CAC stuff that occurred a couple of years ago, to a collector who was kind of just paying, really, really, really top dollar for any gold CACs. And this is a tough one to find. So, but, all right, I'm going to stop the presentation and just kind of wrap it up with, just like a question or two. All right. So when evaluating a coin, from your perspective, what qualities make you think this is a strong candidate for a green sticker?
For a green sticker, I'm looking, first and foremost, I'm looking at originality. Is this coin original, or has it been tampered with? If I can clearly see that the coin has been played with in some way, it goes in the no pile. If I see anything distracting, the scratches, the hairlines, any of that kind of stuff that we talked about, it goes into the no pile. PVC is a huge thing now. I kind of learned about that in recent years. I got lucky when I was first submitting coins. I didn't really understand it, but if you look at the older holders, that's a major problem with the rattlers and the OGHs and the fatty NGCs, that you have a PVC problem. Because you see a lot of these coins, you say, man, that coin's awesome. And you think, oh, it's definitely going to get a gold, and it doesn't even get a green. And you sit there and you scratch your head, and then you look at it just right, and once you learn how to identify what PVC looks like on a coin, you spot it every time. And if I see any spots of PVC, no, I'm selling it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, just to explain real briefly. So coins used to be stored in these plastic flips, plastic holders that were kind of flexible and pliable, and that flexibility and pliability comes from PVC, which I'm just going to find the definition. I'll throw it up on the screen here. But PVC was an element in that plastic that, with over time and with heat and with storage, or however it was stored, it would leach onto the coins. And so many coins had that on the surface, and then were submitted for grading and put into holders, and still have that PVC that's on the surface of the coin. It's not too difficult to get off, honestly, with some acetone. It's not that difficult to get off of the coin. But that is usually a completely a no-go. So the big question that I really wanted to get your thoughts on, which is, for the average collector, is it worth holding out for a CAC sticker example of every coin that they buy, or can that mindset kind of limit their enjoyment of the hobby?
That mindset will limit you, yes. Right now, if you really look at the pops of a lot of the graded coins, like I've been studying this stuff for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
There is a very small pop of coins that have stickers. So if your focus is only on coins that have stickers, I'm not saying you're going to have a hard time, but you're going to have a hard time, because there are some coins that there's very, very few. And if you've got another collector that wants that coin, you're not going to get it. Whereas, like my 16D and 63 split bands, there's 250 of them out there, but there might only be 30 of them with a sticker.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure 20 to 25 of them that are out there are already gobbled up by collectors. So there's not too many of them that are going to be available. And then there's the other factor. If they were stickered 10 years ago, there was a major thing of people cracking these coins out and getting the upgrades or trying to get the upgrade.
Yeah.
So you're playing that game. So even the pops aren't 100%, but if you look at a coin that has a small pop and a sticker, let's say it's only got 20 coins, there's probably not even 20 coins. There's probably maybe 12 to 15 left with stickers. There's probably some of them that are no longer in with the sticker, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So if you're dealing with some of these coins, there's only a few. I mean, you either got to have deep pockets, or you just got to be really, really lucky and know how to identify how to get these stickers. And the way CAC is going right now, they're not just stickering too much, and there's two reasons for that. I think one is they're kind of hesitant to sticker because they're trying to push the grading. There's one theory. The other theory is, which I'm starting to realize is probably more accurate, is the fact that all the coins that were worthy of a sticker have been stickered. I mean, if you're talking the 10-20% of a coin in that grade range, and let's say you have 1,000 coins in MS63, and let's say 200 of them have stickers, well, you probably already got the top end of that grade. How many more can you get? You know what I mean? So I don't think there's very many coins out there available to get stickered.
So if a collector came to you today with a budget, he has a set budget, or her, and said, I want the best coins I can get for my money, would you tell them to focus entirely on CAC, or to mix, to get some non-CAC coins, or to just forget the stickering completely and just buy what they love, and what would be your advice and why?
I would tell them to do the mix, but focus primarily on the sticker. Personally, as you can see, I wear the shirt, so I'm kind of partial to PCGS. Not that NGC is bad. I like NGC. They have their quirks. I have coins I specifically send to them because I like them for certain things, and I like PCGS for certain things. But to me, the best coin right now is a PCGS stickered coin.
That's what most people say. Yeah,
that's what most people are liking right now. There's very good return. You hold your value. It's a pleasing piece. It's got a full package, and that's what everybody wants. If you're gonna spend money, you might as well spend money on something that you're gonna get a return on. So in my opinion, if I were answering this question, and somebody came to me specifically, they were trying to build a set of $10 Indians. It kind of depends a lot on the series, and I think that there's just some series where there's some series where CAC stickered coins are simply available. And if they're available, they're not difficult to find. And absolutely, why are you wasting your time with like a lower quality example when the better quality ones, maybe you're going to pay 5% more, 10% more max. It's not that, you can find those, buy those, they're good quality, etc. But in the case of some series, which are really just difficult, very, very difficult to get stickers on, and I think one great example of that is going to be the $10 Indian, which I just want to flash this guy again on the screen. This gentleman who built this Harbor View collection and had one of the top PCGS registry set coins did not have CAC stickered coins. But I would be, and I was happy to own this, and I'd be ecstatic to have this coin in my collection. The color of it is incredible. The luster, the eye appeal of this coin. This is a very pleasing coin, and there's top high-end collectors that didn't bother, waiting and searching to try to find the one example that has a sticker and then be charged out the nose because it happens to have the sticker. That's like the case with my 1914 half dollar. Like that's one of the few ones that have one. So it's probably going to go to auction, frankly. Let some
some fanatic for stickers and wants the best of the best, go and pay crazy. Let two people compete over the thing and let drive the price up. You can build an incredible collection with stuff that doesn't have stickers on them. So I would not let that prevent you, preclude you from just buying good quality. The biggest rule is eye appeal, in my opinion. Eye appeal, luster, color, etc. And that's the primary thing. So anyway, any closing thoughts before we kind of wrap it up? Advice for collectors out there, people watching this video, not, whatever.
Don't live and die by the sticker.
Okay.
Like you're saying,
Yeah.
I mean, just because it doesn't have a sticker doesn't mean it's a bad coin. I mean, I've got plenty of coins in my collection, like my 16D dime. I love that coin, and I clearly see why it didn't sticker. Yeah, is it really a 63? Maybe, maybe not. But it's something that I'm gonna keep because it has a story to me. It's more than just the grade of the coin.
And that coin is absolutely a 63, and it's absolute 63 full bands.
Yeah,
it's
well, like the 20
yeah.
Merc dime that I have. I mean, I've kept it. I've had this thing for 10 years, and yeah, it failed sticker. I think I sent it twice, and it's one of those coins that's like, yeah, you know what? Forget it. I'll just keep it. Eventually I'm going to sell it, but am I going to get sticker money for it? I probably will get sticker money for it because it's got the color.
Because it got the color.
So I'm going to get the premium, but it's not going to get. It doesn't have the sticker. Okay, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this again, and
thank you.
Hope to do, of course, some more in the future. And so I'll be seeing you at the A&A World's Fair of Money. I know. So we'll do dinner. We get some steaks.
Yep.
We'll do our thing and hang out.
Absolutely.
So. Awesome.
Yep, so
all right. Take care. Safe driving, and I'll see you there.
Appreciate it. Thank you again.
All right. Yep. See you.